Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 161. I'm Connor Murphy here with Grace Matthews in Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Grace. How you doing?
Well, I'm on fire today.
Oh, really?
Earlier, I was hangry.
Hangry?
Now I've eaten and I'm just angry.
Okay. I see. Uh-oh. Look out.
Yeah, well, there's lots of people that just will not let go of this John McCain thing.
Oh, I know. We're seeing that here in our news as well. It's getting
Trump,
ugly.
I'm not saying Trump shouldn't let it go either. But and he's upset because it came to light again that John McCain was the one that passed the salacious dossier onto the FBI. Now,
right.
We know that Trump and McCain hated each other.
Yeah.
Okay? Had John McCain not given the fake dossier to the FBI, would that have saved the country a lot of money and a lot of anguish? I don't know. You have to wonder.
Well, it would have saved the money because what's the Mueller investigation up to, 40 million now?
Yes, and that's the last number we heard.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when they get finished and we hear the real numbers, they're bigger.
Yeah.
So at least 40 million. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that John McCain was a hero. But he left us, due to his hate for Trump, in a bad situation.
Oh, for sure.
Now,
with the healthcare thing, too?
Yes,
yeah.
The healthcare. That's the main thing. And I'm hearing all these people on TV that work for giant corporations, and they don't really have to think about their healthcare.
Exactly.
Now, Obama screwed us up enough. But when McCain gave a thumbs down, it's one of the last things he did before he went home with his cancer. He took us all down with him.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it is outrageous. We just did our taxes. $20,000 went to healthcare.
Whoa.
$20,000. Now, I'm telling you, I'm luckier than most.
Wow.
If I had a mortgage, I would not have health care. That's how bad it is. If I had Obamacare this year, it would be $1,600 a month plus a $6,500 deductible.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
What I have is some sort of temporary kind of policy because a lot of policies won't cover my thyroid.
Right.
Which at this stage of the game costs less than $500 a year. Okay? But they can do this. He also set it up to where the Democrats are now in charge. He didn't do that part of it. But they won't do anything for 2 years. They have the Congress. What they are going to try to do is use that as leverage to gain governmental control of our health care. That doesn't work in the United States.
Yeah.
Look at how they handled the VA.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the United States, they will have to decide who gets care, who doesn't get care.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work.
I don't want the government. No, it's not going to work. And then they're also planning on passing it out to illegal immigrants.
Yeah. Okay.
So
sounds like Canada.
Yeah, so this is what John McCain's anger at the president set the rest of us up for.
Right. And now he's gone, so he's just kind of...
And now he's gone, and his family is whining their asses off. I understand grief. I've lost my father. You've lost your father. The grief never goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, this is almost petty that it's happening.
It's getting ridiculous. You got Mitt Romney, you've got all these Republicans coming out and saying Trump shouldn't be talking about McCain this way. The hell he shouldn't.
Yeah.
We need health care fixed. And we have no hope of it on the table right now for at least 2 years.
Ouch.
And then at the end of the 2 years, we've got Democrats wanting to take over 20% of our GDP. And that's if you don't care about your health, your own personal health care.
Right. Right. Wow.
You surely got to be worried that hospitals will close down if they don't get to make money.
Wow. Yeah, that's a mess.
Problem.
Yeah, that's a mess.
And I don't know. It really, really has me worried.
Yeah, rightly so. 20 grand a year? I just can't, as a Canadian, I can't even wrap my head around that. Think of what you would have done with an extra 20 grand.
Absolutely.
I mean, talk about economic stimulation, right? It's
right. And you're also talking about, like, my son works for a pretty big corporation, not like these guys on TV that work for Fox and CNN and all these guys and probably don't even have a deductible. They don't even pay their own health care. He's already 10,000 down.
Ouch.
For this year.
Wow.
And that was the first 2 months of the year. Might be worse now.
Wow.
So
what a mess.
It is a big mess. It's affecting us out here. And like I said, people in New York, D.C., and elsewhere, the elitist, they wonder why people in the middle saw Trump as their last hope. And I heard someone the other day say Trump's a narcissist.
Well, yeah,
really?
Not big news there.
Yeah, what a brilliant genius. First of all, no one could run for president that wasn't a narcissist.
Yeah,
he might be a bigger one. I'm not saying he's not. But you could not take the attacks on your personal life without having a bigger than life belief in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be psychologically impossible. I mean, they would probably commit hara-kiri.
Yeah. Thinking back, I think Billy Carter probably was the least narcissistic of your presidents.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy. But if you were a narcissist, the whole process would squish you.
Yeah, absolutely. With some media today, you got to have some thick skin and a strong backbone.
Exactly. So, Bush, Hillary, Obama, they're all narcissists too. Mitt Romney.
Oh, absolutely.
Big narcissist. So calling Trump a narcissist, is nothing. If you just realize that, then you're way behind.
You've been under a rock. Yeah.
Anyway, Trump breaks all the rules, and we know that out here in the middle.
Yeah, I'd say that's what the Democrats are always screaming about, isn't it?
He breaks all the rules, and he is really without a political party. Now think about it. He has taken over the Republican Party. It's basically unrecognizable.
Yeah.
But really, when this all began, he really didn't fit the profile of either party.
Yeah, exactly. He was definitely an independent.
Yeah, and he's got, he's a populist. I mean, he has almost made that a party in itself.
Right.
Populism. Yeah, Trump, for sure, is a narcissist. But he is empathetic to the middle class and the working man. Now, he claims in his book that it's because when he was doing projects, he actually went out himself and talked to people. You know, if he was going to build a high rise, he talked to the people that would be living next to it, living in it, the cab drivers, the people that owned the restaurant or cafe across the street.
Yeah.
I believe he did that because he does have insight that a privileged guy from Queens could not otherwise have.
Yeah, and I would agree with you there. Yeah. As much media paints him or tries to paint him in as opposite to that, he, you know, there are those news agencies that do report and show him, you know, the true Trump, you know.
True, absolutely. You know, he's a sinner. We know that out here. You know, when somebody says, oh, well, he had an affair.
Big
okay,
deal.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. We're far more concerned about our own life. And God loved sinners. Look at King David and King Solomon. So do we. You know, I mean, actually, sin is the most decisive teacher.
Probably.
Think about it. And, you know, I mean, the best lessons you've learned were when you were doing something bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And the very fact, I mean, some people will say, well, at one point he filed bankruptcy on his corporations and reorganized. Yeah, don't you think that's how he knows so much about some of these laws?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just amazing how they hate him so much that they become unrealistic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Trump derangement syndrome. There
Exactly. Exactly. People in the middle have watched since 1974 factories go to China, Mexico, wherever the labor is dirty and cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. Same in Canada.
And we're told that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're told that.
And we know that well-paying jobs to the working class makes everything go better. Ask NASCAR.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got the most loyal fans, and they claim that they specifically target the working class, blue-collar worker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine wrestling, what is it, WWE now?
Yeah, MMA too. All the same kind of...
They really go after that. If you go after the rich people with a product, you're not going to make as much as you do by going after the working class and or the middle class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when we voted for Donald Trump, we had in our mind Einstein.
Yeah.
Remember what he said? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, that's insanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you got to try something different. Trump was trying something different, and it's working for the economy. You know, he has a lot of faults. You know, his Twitter is out of control. However, for every time he misuses or stupidly uses Twitter, he also uses it to go around the mainstream media and much of the fake news.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he gets the message out with the Twitter. So now they're telling us that the jobs for the working class are going to be going to robots and computers.
Yeah. There's a lot of occupations in trouble.
Absolutely. Trump says, to hell with that. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we should do it. And why is that? If you use automation and robots to do the jobs of the working class, and you're going to get a lot more production, we understand that. It might even save you money.
Yeah.
In fact, it probably will. But who is going to buy whatever it is you're making?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Because if you're only going to depend upon the rich, you know, it may seem like we have a lot of rich people in this country. We don't have that much. We certainly don't have as much as the AOCs and these Democratic hopeful presidential hopefuls act like we have.
Right.
If we do what they wanted to do, it would be great for 18 months. Then we run out of rich people's money.
Well, it's not only that, the rich people will move. That's it.
Absolutely.
They're going to take their money and they're gone.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And then you got no money.
Very good point. Yeah. So that's Trump's point. That's Trump's point with GM on the plant that Mary closed down.
Right.
GM, those cars aren't selling, those little sedans that they were making in Ohio.
Right.
But I think the bigger, more important part of the story is Trump is saying just because we can do it doesn't mean we should. We could nuke Syria, take care of the problem. We could nuke little Kim. We don't do that. Why? Because the bad far outweighs the good.
Yeah, for sure.
I knew a guy that lived in Nixon, Missouri, which is probably 10 miles from here, back in the 80s. And he made a smart light bulb.
Oh, okay.
And you wouldn't have to buy a light bulb for 10, 15 years. We're now using those light bulbs, but he was paid millions in the 80s to keep that light bulb off the market because the consequences was bad. Okay? There was also a car that the inventor was paid. I believe that was in the 70s. Might have even been earlier. He was paid to take that car back home. A lot of money. Because it would cost way too many jobs.
Wow. We don't seem too concerned about that today, do we?
We're not concerned about that, but we should be.
Absolutely.
Because not everybody can go to, if everybody goes to college and learns to code, everybody says, oh, teacher learns to code, go learn to code. Well, eventually, coding's not going to be worth much money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like when I first went to college, getting a degree in psych would guarantee you, at that time, you know, over $50,000 a year. Over $50,000 a year then was a great. Now, do you know what the degree's worth? $24,000 in today's money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because too many people got that degree.
I was just going to say that coding 20 years ago is different than coding today already. You know, there's...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trump has always understood this. But these other people do not seem to understand it.
No.
In fact, I think they are so concerned that he is going to run away with this next election because the economy does look good and he does understand the people in the middle, that they now want to reduce the voting age to 16.
Yeah,
because
ridiculous.
They figure, you know, have they ever had 16-year-olds? Now, I got 3 really good kids. I would not have wanted them voting at 16.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's ridiculous.
They want to change the amount of people that serve on the Supreme Court, because if they were to get elected and say you add 5 people on there, they could have a heyday.
Yeah.
As long as they were appointing
the people they wanted.
Their people.
That would push their own agendas. Yeah, for sure.
They want to get rid of the Electoral College.
Yeah, they're trying everything, aren't they? They're throwing everything at it right now.
And the Electoral College was designed so that the middle of the country would not become a wasteland.
Right.
That's why we have it.
Yeah, they are only concerned with winning that next election. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. And I really feel like they believe, and they probably have poll numbers, that there's not a chance in hell they're going to do that unless the economy falls or they find something absolutely terrible out about Trump. And you got to wonder, I mean, out of all the stuff that's come out, is that going to happen?
Right.
I mean, what more could they throw out there about Trump? Because we really don't care. And I think they're surprised about that.
Yeah.
You know, they keep throwing this racist crap out there about him. Well, that's becoming just a word.
Yeah, and there's no evidence of him being racist ever.
No, none at all. And he really seems good to women.
Right.
And I understand that he likes model, sexy women, and that's between him and his wife. I don't care.
Yeah, who cares? Doesn't really matter at all. He can still run a country.
Exactly. But like I said, there are a lot of laws that we have to abide by or we get punished, Yeah. But basically there's a choice, you can choose to break the law. There are some laws, though, that you have no choice. Mother Nature comes and slams you with the tornado. You don't have much choice.
Right.
But what about those laws of mathematics that say there is the law of supply and demand? If you use computers and robots to make this merchandise, you're going to have no demand. You're going to have a supply, but you're not going to have a demand because people can't afford it.
Right.
I mean, already people are doing better under Trump, but they're spending, I'm guessing, this is my number, I'm guessing they're spending 70 to 90% of their net gain on healthcare.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they're really not feeling it. They're seeing it, but they're also seeing it go right back out the door.
Yeah, like I said earlier, that $1,000 could have gone back into the economy, in your local economy, very easily.
Absolutely. Or could have went in a savings account for a retirement.
Yeah.
But still, even when you put it in a savings account or in a stock, it's still helping the economy.
Yeah.
I think that what we've seen with politicians, and I'm talking about most of the politicians on the federal level, is they don't really like their constituents. I mean, they're out there kissing their asses when they're campaigning. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think they're making us feel warm and fuzzy like they get it.
No, it's like as soon as they get elected in, they're all about themselves.
This morning, Christina, our Christian Gildebrand that's running, she's, doing her weights on her Instagram or something.
Okay.
Really? I mean, it really was kind of yuck. I'm like, what is that? I just had to look twice. It was on TV. Believe me, I don't have her on my stream. But, and you don't believe that's narcissistic?
Yeah, exactly.
Here, let you watch me chew my food.
Yeah, oh, wow.
It really is crazy. And out in the middle of the country, we're sick of it. Also, out in the middle of the country, you got to remember that because the blue-collar jobs aren't doing so well, the degree jobs aren't. If you are not associated with a higher learning institution,
right,
or a hospital, you're not doing a whole lot better.
Right.
Because a lot of degree jobs depend upon a good working class base.
Absolutely.
So, when we could go on and on, but when people want to know why the people in the middle of the country voted for Trump, is about populism, not racism.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they always want to think that people, and most of the people that voted for Trump were really voting in the primary, according to Timothy Carney, whom we talked about the other day. They were voting for their neighbors. Right. I watch a guy down the street every morning, decent house, but he's struggling. he gets up every morning and pumps the retreads on his truck to go to work.
Wow.
Because he can't afford to buy tires.
Wow.
I know things have been better for him. I can tell by looking at his house.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to me. I don't live there, and I know that the only choice is Trump.
It is.
That's your only bet in the race. That's it.
Yeah. And we sure as hell don't want to have a Beto that's really a Trudeau.
Yeah, he is. We need to talk about both of them. Where did this guy come from?
Well, Texas, and he is really Irish. His real name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. Okay. But his dad thought it would be better if he sounded like he was more Hispanic. So he started calling him Beto. Now, if you ask me, that's that microaggressive racism that Hillary talked about. How is that much different than the blackface deal we had a couple of months ago?
It's not. But I haven't heard about this guy until like last week, and he's all over your news.
Oh yeah, and the only important thing he's done is lose to oh my gosh, who did he lose to? Cruz.
Right.
Tom Cruise. No, not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Senator
Cruz.
Oh boy, crazy day.
Yeah, you got Tom Cruise on your mind.
So today, I probably do. But today we have people calling Beto America's Trudeau.
That is hilarious. That is
and I
funny.
think a lot of it is because he's not authentic.
Right.
Everything he says, he answers evasively. So ask him about late-term abortion, and he says, and we're talking about late-term as in a baby's already a baby, okay? And he said, well, a woman should choose about her own body. We're talking about killing a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not talking about, abortion in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's the way he kind of answers everything.
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm hoping it's a fad that passes, because he's no good for you guys. I know that for a fact.
I figure he will be on the VP, and I think Kamala will be on top, and he'll be the VP because he's pretty charismatic.
Yeah.
And that is like Trudeau. That's much like Trudeau.
Well, Trudeau is in some deep doo-doo right now. Some very interesting things going down in Canadian politics. So just to catch everybody up, SNC-Lavalin is a construction company, an international infrastructure construction company. And they do jobs everywhere. Big, huge corporation. They were caught bribing Gaddafi's son about a decade ago, $30,000 worth of prostitutes and a yacht. I think the total was $38 million or something like that they bribed him with.
Wow. And
in turn they defrauded Libya of over $100 million. So they are being charged in the criminal courts, and Trudeau tried to basically get the Liberals to change the laws to allow them to get out of being criminally prosecuted in this case. So the Justice Committee, or should I say the lack of Justice Committee, didn't allow Jody Wilson-Raybould. She was the Attorney General that was being pressured by the Liberals, allegedly, but we know the truth. They didn't allow her to fully testify. They had a gag order on her. She couldn't speak about anything after January 14th. So they allowed some of the accused that she named to not swear on an oath before their testimony. So none of them did that. That vote was shot down. And they didn't allow her to rebut the testimony that was, given opposing her views. So 7 Liberals voted to shut down the investigation. 4 opposition that were on the Lack of Justice Committee walked out and protest, yelling "cover up." So that was a nice bit of drama. Then right after right after that, the top bureaucrat, Michael Wernick, who was also named in this, resigned from the council, and Trudeau began to hire lawyers to cover Lav scam, which is what they're calling this now, is the moniker that's been stuck to it. Trudeau also hired an advisor who's a former Liberal cabinet minister and deputy prime minister, Anne McClellan. She was involved in a big scam 14 years ago when she was in office and on taking illegal donations.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so she got out of that one, so Trudeau figured that he'd hire her to get him out of this one. So the Liberals officially said in the House of Commons, there's nothing happened here, nothing wrong was done, so the investigation is officially closed.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. I did not
expect that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Liberals investigating Liberals. That's what happens. So there's the OECD is still investigating. Now, they're the working group against international bribery. And they're investigating these $38 million in bribes to Gaddafi's son and the sex budget and the yacht and a bunch of other bribe rate in other countries on other projects, I guess. So, yeah, very interesting. 2 days ago, Trudeau budget was released, and the opposition MPs walked out of park in protest, yelling, "Let her speak," meaning Jody Wilson Raybould.
Right.
And Trudeau's budget, of course, didn't bounce, even though he wanted it to bounce by 2019 and said, "Trust me, I'll make it bounce." It didn't bounce because he's going out right now with a blank checkbook and just throwing money everywhere, trying to basically distract people from what's going on here, right? So... Yeah, so it's kind of funny as he takes flack about being a fake feminist in the House of Commons. He just responds by yelling back to these women. So it's kind of funny to watch how ironic the whole thing is. So in the time, a black Liberal MP, Selena Caesar Chavans, has resigned after this scandal.
Another one?
Yeah, she basically left the Liberal Party. So, yeah, he freaked out on her, I guess, as well. So, well, right now, what is going on is because the government tried to shut down, or they did shut down this Lav scam investigation, the opposition has launched a filibuster against them, which require 257 separate motions, which are required to vote on. So as we're speaking now, I think they are probably going on into their 30th straight hour in the House of Commons.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've never watched so much parliamentary TV before in my life, because it's been going on non-stop. So, and honestly, it's like a kindergarten class in there.
That's like ours.
Well, it was really funny. What happened is there's no food allowed in the House of Commons.
Oh, really?
And Trudeau got busted eating a chocolate bar. So they made him apologize. They made him apologize to the Speaker of the House.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I wonder if the Speaker said, "Yeah, next time bring enough for everybody." Just
so they've got a lot of hangry people in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Hungry and angry. That's not a good combo.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's basically what's going on right now. Now, you were talking about the 16-year-olds they're trying to push to allow them.
To vote, yeah.
So here's what's happened in Canada. Trudeau is fast-tracking the citizenship of illegal, or I can't say illegal, irregular immigrants. That's what they're called. Oh,
irregular.
Now. Irregular. Oh. I guess they're not
like they have one foot bigger than the other.
I guess maybe their noses are off to the side. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but we can't call them illegal. We have to call them irregular. So
okay.
Yeah, he's basically fast tracking their citizenship so they could vote and fall. Yeah. So Trudeau,
if you can't beat somebody outright, change the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's basically trying to do that. So he's also made a deal with Facebook, allowing Facebook to access private Canadian citizens' information. In turn, Facebook allows the Liberal to filter out the fake news, which is the fake news according to Liberals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Trudeau's also put a block on Canadians being able to access international news on Canada via Google. So, and I've tested this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I belong to a lot of American political groups on Facebook, of course. And so I see what some people post, and I can search title for title, and I won't come up with that link.
Yeah.
Word for title, do the search in Google, and it won't come up. So I know that the international media, anything to do with Trudeau, is being blocked from us Canadians. So, yeah. And after his budget that he launched and throwing money everywhere, he's already cost Canada an extra $100 billion in added debt since he's taken office.
Wow.
$100 billion.
Which is a lot considering you have 30 million people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't look at that as in, in comparison with the population of the United States. You got to remember that Canada has much less population. Yeah,
like 10% of what you guys have.
Yeah.
So, big issues going on, still continuing on. Once we're done here, I'm going to be watching the CPAC live feed again and see if I can catch some more arguing. Or maybe Trudeau eating another chocolate bar.
Well, what is really sad is you won't be able to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Power outage.
You've got the power outage.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about that. How far does that extend?
This is a fairly big block. I guess maybe 6-10 city blocks.
Okay.
And it definitely is storm damage. They're replacing a bunch of poles. So it looks like that big windstorm that we had, when was that? I guess before Christmas.
Oh my gosh, it just went on forever. So
yeah, there was people that were out of power for a week.
So well, I was just checking, making sure it wasn't one of Trudeau's, antics to get everybody from, keeping up with his antics.
No, he'd keep it going here because he's got us paying carbon tax. So he needs that tax money.
You guys are taxed to death, and we don't want to be. We don't want to be taxed like the Canadians.
We're easily over 50% if you add all the added taxes that you're paying when you buy certain things. So well over 50%. So it's a scary thing.
One thought, and it is scary. And if Canada and the United States doesn't get their shit together, Open's going to come across there and get us all.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sitting there watching.
Yeah, and laughing.
You remember watching the 80s? There was a mini series on called America. Now, America with a K.
Okay.
And basically that's what happened. We all got goofy. And Russia came, and Soviet Union really came and took us all over. Canada, the heartland.
Absolutely.
And it was so earth-shattering and upset so many people. To this day, I cannot get a copy of it.
Wow.
It's basically like they censored it and said, no, we don't want anybody to watch this. because it was so realistic. Do you remember Robert Urich?
Yeah.
I believe was the star, but like Chris Christopherson had some great stars in it. It scared the holy hell out of me.
Right. I don't remember that at all.
Again, but we're kind of doing some things that make that seem possible.
Oh, absolutely. And you bet they're meddling in everybody's elections.
They're laughing his ass off at us.
Yeah, and they're meddling in everybody's elections. So they're sitting back and having a beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we agree there.
We certainly do, and we don't always agree, but life's a journey, and we're all in this together. Thanks so much for listening. Godspeed, Connor, and Godspeed to all of our friends out there.
Godspeed, Grace, and everyone. Thanks for listening.